Good afternoon, grade 8s, and welcome back to the virus sessions, take 2. Today we're going to look at mathematical operations that undo things and help us get back to that one single x that helps us to solve the equation. So if we think back to grade 7 and 6 and 5 and all of your junior grades, we learned about some basic operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and then eventually this year we got along to powers and roots. So if we want to do the opposite of adding, for example, if we want to undo adding, I think most of us know that to undo it, we're going to subtract. To undo subtraction, we'll add. To undo multiplication, we divide. And to undo division, we will multiply. But then it gets a little bit more complicated. With powers, to undo powers, we're going to use roots. And to undo roots, we're going to use powers. So to solve equations, we often will have to work backwards and use what's called the inverse or opposite operation to solve the problem. Sometimes I like to refer to this as Samdog because it's doing the very, very backwards thing that we learned a long time called BODMAS. So with Samdog, we're going to work backwards. We're going to subtract and add first, multiply and divide second, and then we are going to do brackets, powers, roots, and all those other things last. So let's give it a try. Let's say we have an equation, 3x minus 4 is equal to 29. How are we going to solve this? Well, using the principles of Samdog and working backwards to undo things and get 1x by itself. We're going to look here where we have minus 4. And the opposite of minus is going to be plus. And because we're doing an equation, whatever we do on the one side, we also have to do on the other side. And if we put all that together, we're going to get this interesting situation here. 3x, the 4's are gone, plus 0 is equal to 33. Now, we have to think very, very carefully about what's happening with the 3 and the x, because we have to get just one x in our final answer. So remember, the relationship of 3 and x is between them, it's multiplication. So how do we undo multiplication? We're going to divide. And whatever we do on one side, we're going to do on the other side. 3 divided by 3 will give me what I'm looking for, 1x. It's going to be equal to 11, and guess what? I'm done. So now, why don't you try to do one on your own? Just pause this video and try this equation here. 4x minus 18 equals 54. All right, I hope you have some amazing work. So what we're going to do now is solve this, and we're going to use that principle of Samdog to help us out. So the first thing we're going to look to do is to add or subtract anything that might be in the way of getting our final answer. And if we look here, we've got minus 18. So the opposite of that is going to be plus 18. And whatever we do on the one side, we're going to do on both sides of the equation. This will leave us with 4x, because that's going to be 0 over here, is equal to 72. So now we have this relationship between the 4 and the x of multiplication. And what we're going to do next is we're going to divide by 4. So this cancels out and we get 1x, which is going to be equal to 72 divided by 4, which is 18. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope things are a little bit clear. We now can do two-step equations that involve adding and subtracting and some division. And I'll see you again next time when we look at solving equations using multiplication. Good luck. Stay safe and healthy, guys. Talk soon.